Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Mighty Stream, and I'm going to do our March the 27th Spiritual Principle Day in a meditation. How are you doing today? I'm feeling energetic and excited. Let's go ahead and get into that meditation. What we have, the title of this meditation is Autonomy and Our Choices. Autonomy and our choices. We define ourselves by our choices. That comes from the Living Clean book, chapter 2, Connection to Others. None of us chose to have the disease of addiction. We also didn't choose our upbringing or the demographic groups we belong to, our identity or culture, or to have our particular set of character defects and assets. These aspects of ourselves don't tell our whole story, not nearly. This truth also doesn't negate responsibility for our personal autonomy, our free will to make decisions that may in many ways be informed by these characteristics. Personal autonomy is having the capacity and willingness to act on our own behalf. As recovering addicts, our goal for personal autonomy is to have the capacity and willingness to do so while living by spiritual principles, as opposed to the self-centeredness that drove a lot of us or drove a lot of our decision making in active addiction. Through the 12 steps of NA, we investigate the hand we were dealt and what we did with those cards. This work opens many doors for us to make self-aware choices that align with our true values and a higher purpose. In step 4, I had an epiphany many of us have, realizing that holding on to my resentments was a choice that was holding me back, a member wrote. And my experience with step 7 shows me that when I'm about to act out on a shortcoming, I have a choice. For me, autonomy is that moment of grace where I pray, help me choose differently because I want to live differently. We are as we do, not as we feel or think we are. We aren't like, we aren't all our outsides or insides, right? We can be kind without feeling kind. We can feel kind and not act on it. Our choices reflect our priorities, how we treat the people in our lives, from our sponsor to someone we want to date to a server in a cafe. How we spend our time and money, how we act when no one's looking. We're no longer living by default or vicariously through others. We've carved out who we authentically are and can make choices that reflect that version of us. We are autonomous, responsible for our own feelings, words, and actions. And just as no one can make us do anything, we can't make choices for others either. My autonomy, my willingness, my choice. Now, what do I prioritize today that reflects how I want to live? Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. How powerful of a meditation that is. How wonderful of a meditation that is. thinking upon this truth, thinking about how we want to present ourselves. What choices do I want to make, will make, that will reflect who I am today in recovery? Or in some instances, not reflect who I really am. See, because like it says, we are not all of our outsides or our insides. We actually are both. And sometimes, our choices, unfortunately, not sometimes, but if a person is really trying to analyze us, they can tell a lot by the choices that we've made. See, because our autonomy is our ability to have our own decision, our own issues, our own willingness, our own choices. We are autonomous. We use that term when we talk about the group. Each group is fully autonomous, right? Not accepting outside contribution. It just basically means the group is responsible for itself. That's fine. So if the group is responsible for itself and I'm a member, wouldn't it make sense that the members should also be responsible for themselves? And I love that this paragraph, this very first one, highlights, hey, you had no control over what circumstances you were birthed into. You had absolutely no control. You didn't have any control over the culture, the social economic status that you were born into. You had no control over the fact that you have something in you that thrives or seeks something, obsession and compulsion, on a regular basis. You're not responsible for having that disease of addiction. You're not. That's like saying a child is responsible that they were born with a hole in their heart. They're not. No, no. But we are responsible for our recovery. We are responsible for taking a look at the cards that were dealt to us and how we played them. Nobody told me to hang out till 2 a.m. with all those men. Nobody told me to do that. I did that. I did that because I thought I could get more high. I did that because I wanted to. And if truth be told, one of the guys, I liked him so tough, I wanted to make sure that I was in his face instead of somebody else. And he still ended up marrying the girl. Right? So come on now. This is recovery. This is an opportunity for us to tear down those things, those barriers that have prevented us from moving forward in life. But how is that ever going to happen if I just read about it and I'm not about it? Yeah, let's not only read about it, talk about it, but we have to also be about it. I have to take the chance, the opportunity to improve my circumstances. Yeah, it takes a lot of faith. It takes an awful lot of faith to be able to say, I'm going to move forward from the past. I'm going to learn why I made those decisions, what character defects were operating, so that I can be free of them, not making the same mistakes. It takes effort, it takes faith. And it can be intimidating sometimes. But listen, when I compare what I'm doing today to what I have been through, I already know I'm already able to get through it. Because there's no way those storms that I survived in active addiction, there's no way that I can take this beautiful life that I have today and compare it to those days. They're like apples and oranges because I'm making different choices today. And whatever comes down the pike, I have all of the tools that I need. And if I don't, I will receive them so that I can handle any situation that is coming up. Because I can't think of a situation, can't think of one that would drive me back to the drugs. I have a made up mind that I will make good choices. If I fail to make good choices, I will be responsible for the consequences of those bad choices, but also I get to enjoy the rewards of the good choices. I'm fully autonomous and I have a choice. This is where you say, me too. This is where you say, me too. You have a choice as well. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you today. I hope that you will have a beautiful day on purpose. I intend to. Already am at it. I'm going to have a wonderful day. Take care. Talk to you tomorrow.